anyone hear me?
You can hear you. Seems you're having network issues. Seems like your network. Yeah, we can see your screen. We can see your screen, and we don't know if you are speaking. Are you there?
Hello, can anyone hear me? You can hear me, please just unmute your mic and say something. I don't know if anyone can hear.
Favor, can you hear the? Can you hear the
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, nice. Can you see my screen too?
Yes, we can.
Okay, good. So my name is Sanusi Abdurrahman. I'll be the mentor for taking UI UX fundamentals for the stage one. I welcome you all to this bootcamp, and I really hope we learn a lot from this lesson. And I personally will learn a lot from you. So, so starting with UI UX fundamentals. So basically, let's talking about what is user interface, what is UI, what is UX. Then we now talk about some other aspects of some fundamentals of user interface and user experience design, like the we try and talk about we define the concept of UI, the concept of UX, and we also talk about some part of UX research, user persona, um, some UX deliverables like user persona, information architecture, wireframing. Yeah. So I hope you can hear me. Can anyone hear me? I don't know if anyone can hear me. Can anyone hear me? No one is saying anything. Okay, can hear me. Trying to record this call. So yeah, move to the next place. Introduction to UI UX design. We start by breaking each of the terminologies, each of the abbreviation. What is UI? What is UX? UI basically is an abbreviation of user interface, your first point of interaction with the product. So let's say this desktop screen you are looking at. So the button here you can interact with some other elements you can click on this screen. Basically, it's an interface. Basically, so I'm trying to use a door as an example. Probably door designed a door designed by um, a door designed by all these carpenters that do doors for houses. You see some that are visually appealing, you see some that you don't like. Probably they are not attractive enough. And from a point, from emotional design point of view, the visual appeal is the first thing that attracts any users to a product. I mean, that's what we call the visceral point in emotional design. So an example is the door, the designs on the door, how visually appealing it is. So this is why a user will interact with any product. And for the UX, that's the user experience. That's the functionality of a product. So we will now be asking ourselves, why is this stop sharing button here? Why is this view tab.telegram.org here? Or why is this particular thing here? So user experience helps us with why do we need to place this button here. We try to understand the mental models of our users. We try to understand what they are thinking. So understanding user behaviors help us in building the functionality of the product. Let's say, for example, I'm building an app or I'm designing an interface, an e-commerce website, an e-commerce landing page for users. So aside the user interface, aside the appeal stuff, I'm not trying to put on, okay, why does this CTA button has to be here? Why does this particular thing has to be here? For we to ensure that we need to do some basic research in understanding our users. And understanding of our users will lead us to understanding how we get to do this. So user interface is more of um, the visual appeal of any product, while user experience basically the functionality of the product. So example is a door. I'm trying to use a our normal experience as an example. So we'll ask ourselves, why is the handle of the door placed in the middle and why not up? So let's say the handle of the door is placed up, then I need to start stretching my hand to the up to open the door. But let's say I'm short, I'm not tall, my hand cannot reach up. My hand is not going, cannot reach up. I have to carry a stool to probably reach up. That's a bad user experience for anyone. So trying to understand your users' pain points, this helps us to build a product users can interact with. So when users are trying to use a product and they get frustrated, probably because they could not use it, or probably they were trying to do something and they were not able to achieve their goals, they get frustrated and leave the product. You don't get to use it again because you can be going on the way, probably you are going to learn what can I use an example? I'm trying to reach my school, going to Ajanaku Street. So I got lost at Ileriano Street. So I can see anybody, if I see anyone, I can ask, please, I'm going to Ajanaku Street. He will direct you to Ajanaku Street. But on a digital product, you are trying to you want to try and make an order on a website. But this particular button, you're trying to input something, you're not getting it, you get frustrated, no one is able to direct you, you get to leave it, and that's it. So the basis of all of this is you're, as a designer, you're not just designing your user interface, you're also designing the functionality of the product, the business aspect of the product. At the end of the day, every product out there wants to make money. So if their product is not bringing in the necessary conversion, their product gets to be dumped and not used. So, so I'm hoping I'm not speaking to myself. So, can anyone just say something you understand by user experience? Probably drop a chat or just speak using the voice stuff, just to know that the class is going with me. Yeah, anyone? Yeah, I'm still waiting. And you can just drop a comment in the chat box. Okay, do I have to do it? What the consumer says, the visual aspect, yes. What do you use with the user interaction in the product? Uh, okay, is the user interaction in the product. Hmm, okay. Yeah, the way the users use the product. UX deliverables in UI and UX. And that is user persona information architecture, wireframing in UX research. So now that we understand, let's talk about the process. So for any design, there's a process. Starting from empathize, ideate, define, prototyping, and you test your design. So this is not this five uh, thing I mentioned is a design thinking process. So it's not a linear process. It's a non-linear process. The user persona IA for Africa is a point they come in any design process. There is a point they come in any design process. So what's a user persona? User persona is a diagrammatic representation of a particular group of users. So I'm designing for a product, let's say for an e-commerce as an example also. So I have two group of users. Okay, let me use a B2B product as an example. I'm designing for the business owners, probably farmers that sells their products on the yes, I say their produce on the platform. I also have some other users. They buy those produce from the farmers. So me as designer, I want to understand my users. I want to understand some part of my user. I want to understand like how they think and a lot of things, like how to incorporate their feedbacks into my design. So there are 10,000 farmers in the whole of Nigeria, or probably millions of farmers. You do not expect me to start interviewing the millions farmers in the whole country. What I do is I pick two farmers, speak to them, understand their demographic. I know their demographic uh, representation, their pain points, their needs, their goals. That's the persona. I mean, you're picking two people to represent a large group of users. That's what a persona is. Like, I don't know if you get it. You are trying to represent a large group of users with a small number, probably one, probably two. And that's why there is a saying that build for one, extend to many. That's a universal principle in design. That when you're building for one person, at the end of the day, it tends to extend to millions of people. So that's a persona. That's what a persona is. So when do you do a persona and why? To inform our design decisions. The feedbacks we get from your users, we build from user perspective. This helps to streamline targeted pain points. So this is an example of what a user persona looks like. So this is just an hypothetical. This is not really how it looks like. Just an hypothetical of showing you how it does look like. This is a demographic representation of the person's goals, the person's challenges. So that's how we help marketing messaging strategy. So the goal shows what. So we want for information architecture. Information architecture helps in planning and structuring design implementations. This helps in the organization of design. So we will remember that we're talking about if I'm going for Janapo Street, but I lost my way at Delaware Street. That's an information architecture. Information architecture helps you not to get lost on the way. It helps you not to lose your way at Delaware Street while you are going to Janapo Street. So while you're going to Ajanaku Street, you get to reach your Ajanaku Street without a problem because there's an information architecture that guides the design, the product process. So how do you do all of this? You get to interact with the users, look at all of this. So understanding their mental models helps you in building a product where users can what go from one from your from the login space, from the login, they register their account, they go to the product, they do the task they want to do easily without problem. Why? Because they did not get lost, they did not get frustrated. They know their way around the product. That's the essence of an information architecture. So when do you need an IA in the design process? It falls in the ideation phase why you're trying to track build an IA. This IA, it is probably some persona you do and some other you do a persona, you do persona and some other UX research deliverables. So how can this information architecture help the product? So it helps by making you get more users, retain customers, customer acquisitions, reduce cost for the product. So I hope you all understand what information architecture is. Then why do you need it? Organizing information. It helps you organize the information of the product, consistency and standards, content strategy. And the content strategy, the way we want to probably I'm writing a content, the way we don't want our users to get lost while reading our content, we arrange it the way it should be arranged. That's why you need to arrange your design, your products the way it should be arranged. It also fosters collaboration between product designers, then it helps with layout visualization. So this is what an information architecture looks like. The home page, so you go to the visits. So these are the other things you can check on. So what on this particular is the stuff here, then the exhibit, the shop, the about, and so like this what an information architecture looks like. This is just an introduction to all of these deliverables, probably for advanced learnings. So you might get introduced to all of these in details. So the next one is wireframing. Why do you need a wireframe? Skeletal or visual representation or a skeletal outline of a web page or app design. So it's just a sketch. So let me use our real life experience, like what we see day to day as an example. Probably I want to So I'm trying to draw how something looks like, probably before taking it to a high level. I want to just do a sketch of that thing. I'm trying to do a product. I'm designing for a product. I'm designing for a website or a landing page. Now do a small sketch on your paper. You can do it on your Figma. That's a digital wireframe. So this helps you in getting ideas faster. It helps you with collaboration. It helps you understand the users. Because if you present some of these low power frames to the stakeholders, get to understand how you can implement those thoughts in your high fidelity wireframe. So this helps in fostering collaboration between workers, between stakeholders and designers. So you are not just designing for yourself, you're designing for the business, the clients, the stakeholders, and design is a collaborative work. So you get to work with the engineers, the data analysts, the Q quality assurance, talk to them, present your wireframing to them. You get more ideas faster. Yeah. So stages of wireframing, low power wireframe, you can do an high power wireframe. So low power wireframe is just a sketch. High power wireframe is when it involves the colors and the text and the other things, images and all. The types of wireframe, have paper wireframe, you can do it on your paper, have digital wireframe. So when do you do wireframe and why? To visualize idea early in the design process, helps on consistency and collaboration fostering. It helps in iteration, it helps in user flow visualization. Yeah. So an example of a wireframe. This is how a wireframe looks like. This is how a wireframe looks like. So UX research. UX research is crucial to the design process. So it helps you inform the design decisions with what? With data. So data helps in informing design decision. They say a man with no data has no opinion. So anyone that does not have a data has no opinion. So what that means is, uh, imagine you're trying to present something. You're trying to present some solutions to your stakeholders, but you don't have any data-driven decisions. You're just speaking from your own point of view. Nobody will believe you. Nobody will believe that will work. What matters is presenting your ideas with data. Okay, if we implement this, it tends to give us probably this percentage of conversion or improvement in customer acquisition. And why? Probably you've done some research, some background research with your users. You've understood that this button that is placed up here is not working for them. We need to put it down. And why do we need to put that button down? Because 80% of our users don't like it here and they are not able to use it here. They prefer it being down here. So you're supporting your ideas with data. So this makes our product desirable for users, make it feasible in terms of business, make businesses earn a lot of money when they do UX research. Make it usable, users are able to use it, useful for anyone, and they can enjoy using the product. It is to be noted that design process is iterative. You get to know. You can go even if you do this research at first, you can do design at first. You go back non-linear process. So quantitative research, type of research. You have the quantitative and the qualitative research. So this is just this part of research. US research is very, very wide. So it's more than what is being presented here. So this is just to give us the basic knowledge of how what UI UX design is and what you are going to be doing in UI UX. I mean, what um, you can expect from UI UX design. So quantitative research attempts to gather numerical data and measure specific aspects of user behaviors or attitude. So quantitative research is not really going in depth. like qualitative research. Qualitative research helps with large samples of data. It helps with getting large samples of data. So, this, for example, the example I gave before, where I was talking about, I want to talk with farmers because I want to build a product that the farmer will be using. So, if I'm trying to use a quantitative research, I can just roll out a survey, you know, and ask a lot of farmers to fill the survey, trying to get different ideas from different farmers. So 1,000 farmers can fill the surveys and give me some data to work with. So that's a quantitative research. You are getting data from the users in large numbers. In large numbers. So methods of quantitative research is surveys and questionnaires or A/B testing. A/B testing is I'm comparing two functionality. Probably this is a design, this is a design. I'm using this button down, I'm using this button up at this other screen. I'm now asking users to pick one or probably the one they can use. I'm trying to compare the two together. That's what an A/B testing is. The pros of quantitative research is generalization. It helps in getting a lot of data from users and work with it. Contradictingly get what you need from the users. The limitation of insight, qualitative research. Like by doing that, you get to understand. I mean, you are not interviewing millions of people. In this case, you are probably talking to just one or two persons, just to understand how their behaviors and their pain points and their needs. So methods are user interviews. You do user interviews, one-on-one session. Could be a virtual session, could be a physical session. So observational methods could be probably trying to talk to others to use the product, trying to observe them in a physical environment. The usability testing, probably after designing, you give them the product. Could be testing the low fidelity wireframe. They could be testing the high fidelity wireframe. If you're testing the low fidelity wireframe, you're trying to understand, before implementing the designs, you're trying to understand how they get to interact with it, what is working and what is not working. That's usability testing. The focus groups, probably you gather your users and talk to them how they get to use the product, how they get to use the product. So qualitative research is more open-ended than quantitative research. So pros of it is depth of insight, contextual understanding. Yeah. The cons is subjectivity. So it is limited to just few users and not everyone. So limited generalization in contrast to what quantitative research will give us. So that's the end of our UI UX fundamentals. So I think what we'll be doing next is how to set up a Figma account. But before that, can anyone give a summary of what UI UX design is? Aside just the definition, probably talk a summary, probably something like a 4 lines talking about why all of these UX deliverables are important to your design process. So UI UX design is expressive user interface that are intuitive and easy to use, aesthetically pleasing, post create user friendly interface, user experience, case research, Okay, this is great. Yeah, I'm ex- oh, please can you hear me now? Sorry. So I'm hoping that you heard all of the class. I mean, the slides that I presented. You, so I don't know if I've been wasting my saliva. How do I put it? Oh, how to create the Figma account. My God. I actually didn't present this. Okay, let me just do. Uh, so you just go to. Can anyone see my screen? So I'm trying to show you how you can do it. So if anyone doesn't know how to do it, just go to Chrome, click on, type Figma, download Figma. So yeah, so just click on this. Yes, takes you to this screen. So depending on the type of this thing you're using, depending on uh, the type of Windows you're using. If it's for Mac OS, if it's for Windows, you download for Windows. I already have it on my system, so I don't know how to. So let me check on something. Can you hear me now? I don't know. So while we are doing that, someone can just tell us what a user persona is. And if you have any questions, please just drop it in the chat box. Okay, my network is fluctuating. MTN is against me today. Please can you hear me? I'm not sure if my network is still fluctuating or it's not more fluctuating. I'm very sorry. It's MTN that is doing all of this. If you have any questions, please just drop it in the chat box. In the chat, in the message, in the chat structure. While we are talking about how to create a Figma account, I think the best way is I might send you a Figma a tutorial on how to do that instead of um, on how to do it easily by yourself. Yeah, if you have any questions, please drop it in the chat box so I can answer it. The system is about that. Okay. That person is a diagrammatic exercise of postulated of users, making use of funnels as an example. So, can anyone answer why we need to do an information architecture? No one is dropping any question. I'm assuming that everyone understand all what we've talked about. And for the creation of Figma account, I will drop a Figma tutorial on how to create a Figma account on the Slack channel or probably on the Telegram. Anyone. So everyone can be able to create their account for organizing information. Yes. Basically for organizing information. The consistency and standard is just probably after your organization are informed. I mean, for the designers, probably there's three designers working on the product. It helps the three of you are the same page and not going from one place to the other. Please, I hope my network is working. If there's any question, please let me know. For design implementation. Okay. So, if I may ask, what about wireframe? Will it help us slow our design process? So, okay, let me ask this question. What if I want to build a product and I don't have any data guiding my design decisions? So, without no UX research, without any form of interviews, any form of anything done. So, I'm just building a product and I'm hoping that people will use it. Will the product be used by people? Will I get money from the product? And if I'm not getting money from the product, can anyone that will be answering the question to tell me why money will not come? Why will money not come? Especially for a B2B product, business to business, that involves users using the product, doing transactions. So why will I not make money on such a product? Will users be frustrated using my product? Can anyone tell me why they will be frustrated? Can anyone tell me uh, why? So it's because you're not asking me questions. That's why I'm asking questions. I'm expecting. You can't hear me. Okay, bad interface and user experience discourages consumers from using a product. Yes, that's true. It discourages them from using a product. And why are they getting a bad experience? Why? Why are they getting a bad experience? Do anyone know any reason why they are getting a bad experience? I'm hoping you can hear me so that lack of information and structure from the designer. That's great. But you said lack of information and structure. So why was the lack of information? Why did it happen? Why did the lack of structure happen? Who caused it? Is it by not getting insights? Is it by not doing UX research? The proper information from the user. If the users did not get a proper information from the user, there won't be opinion. Yes, if there's no data. So for that's just a quote that if you don't have data, you don't have an opinion. Yeah, you don't have an opinion. That's just that a code is just a code. Sir. If you don't have data, yes, you don't have an opinion as a designer or anyone. So a UX designer not getting proper information. You as a UX designer, you are to ensure that you get those information from the users. So strategy on how to get that is up to you. So you work with, that's why I've said there are a lot of that can help you get those insights better, those insights faster, and can help you in um, going with design decisions faster. I hope you can hear me, please. And what you had UX design is, you are not just designing interfaces. You are not just putting your designs out there, for fun. Aside all the things you still later learn the design principles, you still need to understand why, although after understanding design principles, you move to understanding UX as a whole, understanding why the button is here, why the input fields are here, and why this input field is short, why this one is long. You get to understand trying to understand the mental models of your users. So building a product or doing a design is not just going to your Figma file or canvas to put some colors, some typography, and start designing. It's way more than that. So you get to do a lot of things to try and come up with something. Yeah. So are there any questions I have to answer? No one is asking me questions. I'm assuming everyone understand the UI UX fundamentals. So I will drop this Figma is it's Figma okay. This particular presentation on Slack for what's it called? For anyone that wants to probably go through it. And I also drop a tutorial on how to create a Figma account so that you can create your Figma account. So and I after dropping the link to the what's it called to the Figma characteristics of a good user experience. Yes, the characteristics of a good user experience you say the product is desirable. The users will want to use the product. The product is feasible for the business earn money from it. There's high conversion rate on your product. There's customer acquisitions increase. There's probably you retain your existing customers too. Another one is useful. So anyone using your product able to perform their task easily there, it's useful to them. Usable also. They can easily navigate their way around the product. Those are the characteristics of a good user experience. Yes, that's it. So I will stop sharing my screen because my system is about to go off. I'll still be on the call. So if you have any question, so I'll still drop this slide to the Slack and I'll also drop the tutorial to create a Figma account. So when you create the Figma account, just drop it under the charts that you've created yours so that we know that everyone understood the tutorial and are able to create their Figma account. On Figma Pro, is there any other way to skip the Pro and still get the functional? I don't get this question, please. Which one is on Figma Pro? Is there any way to skip the Pro? You mean Figma professional account, right? You can register as a student on the you can register as a student on Figma file. You get to use the account for probably 2 years without paying, and you get to have access to the functionality Pro has. Although it might be limited to a few things, but you will be able to use Figma and go your way. I mean, it will be easy for you to navigate your way around Figma, even if you don't register as a pro, even if you register as a student with a student account. In the tutorial we'll be dropping, you get to see this process there. So if you're able to register your account as a student, if you're able to register your account as a student, I think we. Well, I already answered the question. I said the characteristics of a good user experience is that the product is desirable by users. Users can use it. Users want to use the product. It is feasible for the business, for the users. So business are able to earn money. Business are able to get more users. Business are able to retain more customers. They are able to also get increase in their customer acquisition. Probably sign up rate is the one decreasing before, but sign up rate is now increasing. But probably when they are signing up, they staying on the product and not going away is now increasing. And another one is it is useful for them. They're able to perform their task without getting frustrated. You get. They're also able to uh, use the product without getting frustrated. Just something about reacting to the video if you are given and waiting to send it. No, you don't need to send the link. Just let me know that you've created the account so that we know that you understand the tutorial. And that's like you have to do it within 24 hours against it's too much. Probably within 12 hours from the time I drop the link so that we know that you've created the account. This as well makes UI design to be specific and easy to carry. Yes, that's a good answer. A good user experience will make you craft a good user interface. Yes, that's true. So I hope I've answered the questions. So any other one? Any other question? I could have probably shown you how to do the Figma account, but my system is about to die and I may not be able to do it. Oh, you're welcome, sir. So about the Figma account, I would have easily shown you how to create it. Because some people might even create the Figma account and start using the free Figma account and not have access to the all the functionality you're supposed to have access to. So you use a student account to create your Figma account. Yeah. If there's any other questions, I'd love to answer it. In the absence of any question, I might probably ask more questions because I think we still have like 30 minutes before the end of the class. And I will also drop an assignment on the Slack channel. I'm still thinking of what the assignment will be. So before the end of the day, I should be able to come up with something or probably before tomorrow morning. So you can be able to get busy with something. Yeah. Yeah. Hope anyone can hear me. Yes, I can you please be taking the presentation a little bit slower. Oh, about the presentation, I'll also drop the slide link on Slack so you have access to it yourself and able to go through the slides. So don't worry about me going through the slide presentation again. Yes. So we still have some minutes to the end of the class. So I'm still expecting questions. Probably there's something you've been curious about in UI UX design, and then you will love an answer. I would love to answer it. And I'm also sorry for coming late. I'm also extending the time of the class. That was because my lecturer at school did not let me leave. He delayed me by some time. So I had to rush home. Even when I go to my very hungry, so I had to eat first, pray, so that this class will be um, also, because someone that is hungry cannot do a good presentation. So I'm very sorry. And MTN was also against me today. Oh, MTN was against me. They did not let me start the class proper. And I was also having problem using Telegram because I'm not a fan of Telegram. This will probably be the first time I'll be using this app like that. So I'm still expecting questions. That's why I'm still talking. If there's anyone who wants to ask a question or anything, I'll be ready to answer the question. So for the assignment, I'll drop it on the group. For the slide, I'll drop it. For how to create a Figma account, I'll drop the link. Slack. I'm still expecting questions. Or there is no question. So there's really no question. Nobody is asking any question. I think. Let me see if I have a question. So while doing an information architecture, but this is just a question. Why doing an information architecture? So I'm trying to understand what elements are most important and which one that should be given higher priority. So as I've said, what will help me in that decision? So while I'm trying to decide what needs the high priority and what needs a low priority, can anyone tell me what will help me with that decision as a designer? Anyone who wants to answer the question? What will help me? You know, what will help me? How do I put it? The decision of what needs a high priority and what needs a low priority. Come on, can you hear me properly? You can hear me clearly. Good. Can you hear me clearly now? If you can hear me clearly, please let me know. Okay, good. So I was hoping you hear the question. So if you would not hear the question, so the question was, why trying to do an information architecture? I'm trying to understand what needs a high priority and what needs a low priority. I'm trying to understand how to place this particular element, how to place this particular screen, how users get to move from this to this. I'm trying to understand that information, that architecture. What will guide my decision as a designer? You as a designer, what will guide your decision? Anyone who has the answer should help us. I hope you were able to hear me. I'm expecting response. So I understand that Mr. Adegboye Mubarak has been interactive. The map concept has been interactive. Miriam, Mrs. Mariam Alayande, Mrs. Aminat Adenij. Yes, you're trying to understand what guides your decision. I mean, why does this need a high priority? Why does this need a low priority? So what guides your decision? Mr. Motori has been interactive. Some persons have not been talking, and I don't know why. Is it because they don't have an answer to the questions, or they are just hiding their knowledge? They don't want to talk. So the class is meant to be interactive. So it's meant to. I just don't like the way the mic is not accessible to everyone, so you can say something. Design should be concerned about the user experience in the areas of ease, simplicity, and so on. Yes, the user designer should be concerned about it. Yes, should be concerned about it. But I was asking that what will guide your decision? That's the question. What will guide your decision as a designer in making this a high priority, in making this a low priority? What do you have to do? You probably there's something you have to do to understand that this one is a high priority, this one is a low priority. So do you have to engage your users? Yes, research will guide the decision. That's what I'm looking for. Doing research will help you guide the decision. It helps you get those insights from your users. When you understand your users' mental models, this helps you with doing thorough, a thorough information architecture through qualitative or quantitative. Yes, although there are lots of methods of research, ruler intercepts, there are many. There are many. So, what works for you, what works for that product at that time, is what you will use, or what can probably you need a survey to get large samples of. Probably you just need to do some qualitative research, interview like two people to get better, faster insight and better insight. So the UI depends on the UX. Yes, we can say the UI depends on the UX. Yes, you know, with understanding user experience, you can give a better user interface out. Yes, that's true. That's the point. By the end of the day, both of them depends on each other. The UX also depends on the UI. The UI also depends on the UX. So one is not just depending on the other. The UI is not just depending on the UX. Do you get? So, and can a person be the UI designer and still be the UX? Yes. For a newbie that's starting out, you're expected to be good at UI design and good at doing UX. So, uh, they say that you can only reach top before you start saying that you are not doing this thing. That's when you are probably someone that you can be the UI designer and still be the UX research and still be doing UX research. You can be doing research. So, and also, one of the reasons we have to understand this. Okay, so last time, so I'll end it in 3 minutes. I'm also going to pray too. Yeah. So, ah, sorry, sorry about that. So one of the reasons you're understanding all of this is to help the business, not just to help yourself as a designer. That's the point. So that's it. So we have to end the class. So I'm hoping everyone understand what we'll be talking about. So for all of the things I said I would drop on the Slack, I'll make sure to do that before tomorrow morning. Before tomorrow morning. So I'll be expecting your responses on all of the things I drop. And the assignments, I'll be expecting your responses too. So everyone should have a nice day. Thank you very much. Some persons are still typing. You are welcome, ma. Thank you for also listening to the session. Thank you for also finding it enjoyable and you know also have a nice day, everyone. So I'll be leaving. Thank you.